Today, I am in Grand Rapids, Michigan. We just came off the Grand River. We had an amazing trip on kayak with Rita Neumann's husband, Jeff, and their business, GR Paddling. It was a great experience. So if you're in Michigan, if you're near Grand Rapids, if you find yourself traveling through, because we're only traveling through today, and it was a really great 8-mile trip that we took. Now, on the 8-mile trip, while we were forcing your husband to take selfies and live videos with us by kayak, and you were stalking us along the river and taking these fun pictures of us, while that was going on, one of the conversations I had with Jeff was about the organization that you both take part in. And I know that's Kent's Special Riding Program. And tell everybody exactly what that riding program is all about, because I know you have an event this evening, and I know that Jeff is looking forward to it, and I know you're the chairman. Is that correct?
Yes. The Kent Special Riding Program is a nonprofit organization that provides recreational and therapeutic horseback riding lessons to children and adults with different disabilities, whether it's physical, emotional, or mental impairments. We teach them how to ride horses.
How did this start for you, this passion? How did you get involved in this?
When I was in high school, I was crazy about horses. And so anything that would get me close to a horse, I'd do it. And I started taking lessons at a barn near my home. And there was a program similar to this at that barn that provided horseback riding opportunities to people with disabilities. So I became involved with that. And then when I moved up to Ann Arbor, I found a program like that near Ann Arbor that did that. And then when I moved to Flint, I found another program there. So one of the first things that I did when I moved to Grand Rapids was to find a program like this that does the horseback riding.
If that's not a passion, right? You seek it out in 4 different states?
Mm-hmm. Yes. And it also got me into my paying career. That's what encouraged me to go into physical therapy as a career.
Wow, that's amazing. Okay, so how many years now have you been a part of this organization here at Grand Rapids?
I'd say about 16 years.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Do you have a favorite story? Like, what does it look like when you are operating this nonprofit? Because I know Jeff talked about a specific person who comes every Saturday, who has never missed a Saturday, probably he thinks, in like 35 years. Her name is Marge.
Yes.
Okay, so do you have stories like that?
I do. There was a young girl that I worked with that has ridden with us for years, who for at least 2 years had been asking the instructor to be able to ride completely by herself without someone else leading the horse. And I happened to be with her the class that the instructor finally said, "I think you're ready." And so the instructor had me tie the lead rope around the horse's neck and walk beside her, and so that I could grab it if there were any problems. But just the look on her face when she knew that she was completely in control and this horse was doing what she was telling it to do was just amazing. And that's one thing that really keeps us coming back again and again.
I can only imagine how empowering that must feel. Not only are you controlling something, but from so high up, and an animal that is so powerful.
Yes, many of our riders use wheelchairs in their daily life, and they may be able to stand or take a few steps, but the experience for them to get onto the back of a horse and feel that natural movement and be above everyone else instead of looking up at other people, and to control a 1,000-pound animal and tell them where you want that animal to go is just so empowering and very, very, very powerful.
Now, what kind of challenges do you have? Because I know that there's so many people listening. They want to get involved in nonprofit, and they have to overcome challenges. What did you have any that you needed to overcome to keep this in your life?
I've gotten very involved, and so I don't work with the classes as much anymore. I'm on the board and working a lot with behind the scenes, all the million little tasks that need to get done outside of the classes, and that takes a lot of time. But it's a different experience. It's a good experience to see what it takes to operate a program like that. And I think our biggest challenge is financial, because we only charge $20 for 6 weeks worth of riding. And originally the thought was to offer it for free, but we found that people would sign up their kids to ride and then not show up. And so by charging $20, that means that they're committed to something and they've invested in it. But it costs the program about $180 to provide that same experience. So we do a lot of fundraising, and we're cutting costs, and it's a lot of volunteer work.
Do you have any personal challenges staying involved?
Time, just the time, trying to find the time to take care of all the different things. But I just love going out, spending the whole day out there with the horses, watching the different riders, being a part of it.
What do you think you've learned about yourself through all of this?
That's a good question. I never would have pictured myself being this involved in an organization like this and really helping to run it. And I don't come close to doing it by myself, but it is a very significant thing. And I've learned a lot of different life skills, dealing with people, interacting with different people, trying to keep something like this running.
And it sounds like too, did you know that you could make such a difference in the world?
No, never would have imagined it. I started out as a volunteer and just kind of worked my way up and took on the different challenges as they came on.
Okay, so somebody's out there, they want to get involved in a nonprofit. What should they envision their life looking like?
It depends on how they want to get involved with it. It is a lot of work. Probably just doing a lot of research, figuring out what it takes, what's involved with it, and just taking it step by step.
We are in nature here. Okay, so taking it step by step, and I think too, pulling from what you just said before is, get prepared to have a lot of meaning going on in your life.
Yes, follow your passions. I firmly believe that the things that interest us can lead us far and really help us develop ourselves and develop our lives. And so just following your passions.
And then to explore it, they need to seek out these organizations that would fit their fancy.
Yes. There's lots and lots of organizations around with all kinds of different purposes, and whatever seems interesting, go check it out.
And then to execute a plan, what do you think the first step would be?
To execute a plan, just become involved. See what's out there. Show up to some meetings or show up to a class and see what they have to offer and where people need help.
What closing thought would you leave everybody with?
There are a lot of needs in the world, and there are a lot of opportunities. And I think that we really need to grab those opportunities and make it part of who we are.
Can you give us contact information for your organization?
The website is kentspecialridingprogram.org.
Okay. I love it. Thank you so much, Rita. This was such a surprise interview. And when I found out from your husband that you were involved in this, and I could see how his eyes lit up when he talked about your role, and I know he's the treasurer, so he's involved as well, and he loves that you guys can do this together. And when you started speaking about it, I said, you know what, we need to get you on. We need people to know this is everybody who has taken 4 different states and gotten involved in the same program. That is passion. So thank you so much for doing so much for everybody. I appreciate it. For them, I say thank you.
Thank you.
That bee just went under your towel. That bee's been over here.
It's been walking around under the
Oh, it's been over here haunting us.
And I talk to you, 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 and we love, and we hate, and we demonstrate. We try to relate. This is my breakthrough. Whoa. Said now, this my breakthrough. Whoa. Oh man, this my breakthrough. Whoa. Said now, this my breakthrough.